Happy monstering, and welcome to another episode of My Singing Monsters Live, your one-stop shop for everything to do with My Singing Monsters. We are your hosts, Monster Handler Matt.
And Monster Handler Michael.
Ooh, I'm relieved that you were able to get that in before you did a slurp there of your life-giving essence. Is that brewed with water from the living ocean?
It was. It also...
Oh, that ought to keep you nice and peppy for today's episode because we got a lot of exciting things to talk about. It's been an absolutely zany week in the monster world, both in My Singing Monsters and Dawn of Fire. But before we get into all the details, we always like to start our episodes of My Singing Monsters Live with information about the...
what happened?
Giveaway is the giveaway. So, Monster Handler Michael, why don't you explain how the giveaway works?
Well, you're going to type in £, otherwise known now today as
No,
hashtag.
you're not going to.
Oh,
do
no,
that.
exclamation mark. I always do it.
Have another
Exclamation
sip
mark.
Have another sip of your
Giveaway.
coffee. Don't listen to Monster Handler Michael.
Exclamation mark giveaway.
You do exclamation mark giveaway, and that is how you are entered to win
At the end.
at the end of today's episode. Now, what is the prize? We never say. We always
Well,
keep
today
it a
I'm going to
secret.
tell you. Today the prize is a secret.
Yeah.
I like to keep you on your toes.
What a tease. Ooh, that felt good. So, that's what's going on with the giveaway. Let's launch right into a segment that we always start off with called On This Day.
You just told me we always start off with this thing, and I said on this day. You said no giveaways.
Well, that's because giveaways come before On This Day. On this day, just last year, if you can believe it, the Wordo Stew Orb premiered on Air Island for the
What a
very
nice
first
guy.
time. I know. And first teased in our Season of Love trailer that began at the beginning of the seasonal event last year, and which debuted Epic Schmoochel, and we'll get to that in a second. But yeah, Stew Orb's first birthday today. Happy birthday,
Happy
Stew Orb.
birthday.
You'll always have a special place in my heart. But talking about new and exciting things that have come to My Singing Monsters this week, less than an hour, well, a little over an hour old, is
An hour
the
and 3
rare
minutes.
Boscus. Another fire rare available to buy or
Fiery.
breed on Fire Oasis and also on Fairy Island. This is quite the vibrant monster to look at. And did you know an
Perfect
interesting
for the
thing?
season.
Perfect for the season, and it's got an entrepreneurial spirit. I figured that would be right up your alley.
Why am I an
Michael,
entrepreneur?
I'd say you have that same
do.
spirit coursing through you. Not only do we have Rare Boscus, but we also have our Love at First Sight promotion, the Epic Schmoochel, available to buy or breed. It had
That's a lot.
been absent throughout the Season of Love up until
And
this
it's
point,
here.
and now here's your
What a
opportunity
day.
here for the long weekend to try and snatch it up, add it to your collection. Other Valentine's sales that are starting today are, we've got Walking on Air, which is 50% off the Wordos of Air Island, Parsona, and Stew Orb. Now, does that include
Coincidence?
Parsona on Plant Island as well? You bet
Yes.
it does. It sure does. We've also got Love Conquers All, this is sort of the spiritual successor to Birds of a Further, which concluded today with the last epic rare pairing. But this is Love Conquers All, different groups of the Air Island rares and epics available to buy or breed each day, and there's a theme surrounding each of them. You'll be able to figure out those themes pretty quickly. And then there's also 75 to 100% more in all currency packs. That's diamonds, coins, treats, and keys. There's no better time than now to stock up on currency. You know what they say, all you need is love. Oh, and also currency. You do need some currency if you want to
You
transact
do.
and get some of the sweet deals that are going on in
It
My
helps.
Singing Monsters this
Sweet
weekend.
deals, because sweet time.
You got it. And it goes without saying, of course, that this is the final weekend of the Season of Love seasonal event. So that means that Schmoochel and all of the accompanying decorations, and you know me, I'm talking about the Curious Cultivar, I'm talking about the Chocolate Fountain, I'm talking about the
What's the
Luff
one?
Balloons, and I'm talking about the Gargle Oil. That's the one. The Gargle Oil. This is your last opportunity to pick those up. So don't delay, and all of the
the
obstacle
Gargle Oil.
decorations for the Season of Love as well. So don't miss out on those. And
I won't.
there
I don't.
it is, you get 3 times more in the diamond, coin, and treat offer walls in My Singing
That
Monsters.
sounds like 3 times the deal.
It's 3 times the fun. Let me tell you that.
300% better.
200%, I think.
Yeah, I think.
But the fun doesn't stop there. We don't just do math on the show. We also talk to you about new content that came to Dawn of Fire this week, which was the Prismatic Potbelly, available on Party and Space Islands. Did you know that the look and feel of Prismatic Potbelly inspired in part by a deep sea creature? Can you guess? My Sing Monsters community. Okay, I don't want you to guess, Michael. I want the My Sing Monsters community to guess what creature inspired some of the various
There's only two I can
features
think
and
of.
appendages of the Prismatic Potbelly. We've also, to celebrate Valentine's Day, we've also got 50%
You never said
off.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy.
Happy
I'm getting
Valentine's
to
Day.
that. That's going to be my big
Oh,
finale. You
okay.
ruined it. You're going to get 50% off all Quad Element monsters on the continent. That's 13 monsters by my count, ranging all the way from Shellbeat all the way down to Incisor. You also get 75 to 100% more in currency packs in Dawn of Fire. That's coins and diamonds. The more you get, the better the deal. And then finally, you also get 3 times more in the offer wall for both diamonds and coins in Dawn of Fire. Phew! That's a lot. And so I'm not done yet, because as promised, as part of our conclusion of our Birds of a Further promotion, we're going to take up the answers from the last 7 days of the promotion, starting with last Friday.
How about I say what they are and you tell me what was...
You bet. I like this system. Go
Okay.
for it, Michael.
We had Rare Riff with a Ostrich.
Right. Interestingly, Ostrich, not an epic monster, but they did have something in common, and that's the fact that they both have 4 wings.
No!
They both have 4 wings, and so that's what united those two monsters.
Winged.
Moving to the next day, who was it?
Rare Noggin Epic Congle.
As I mentioned, some of these are easier than others. What unites these two? They're both percussionists. They both play drum music.
And then hit me with, then we had Rare Fwog.
Yes.
And Epic Moor.
Both of these monsters have noses, which their common cousins do not. Rare
so
Fwog and
specific
Epic Maw.
to, because I was going to say lots of monsters have noses.
Very, very nosy. No, yes, but their common cousins do not have them. What's next?
Rare Tweedle Epic Scup.
Rare Tweedle and Epic Scups. This was the one that maybe was the least...
The least, where you're like...
The least convincing for me personally. I saw a lot of good answers, and I'll accept them all in the community, but the ones that I came up with is that they both had 4 pieces of head ornamentation. The Rare Tweedle had its horns,
really?
and then Epic Scups has its 4 wings sprouting out from the top of its head.
I'll accept it
as
this
well.
time.
You can't argue at that point.
No,
That
I
is real.
mean, that's,
All right, what's
you
next?
make the connection.
All right, what's next?
Rare T-Rox Epic Psy Bop.
Yes, Rare T-Rox and Epic Cybop both have construction tools or elements as part of their anatomy. Rare T-Rox, of course, has its sort of construction...
Bulldozer-y feet.
Exactly, bulldozer-y feet and jaw, and Epic Cybop's tail, normally...
Scapula.
Yes, exactly. Which is a little claw in the rare version, is a little shovel for the Epic Cybop.
We had 2 more Rare Mammoth.
Yeah.
And Epic Pungo.
Epic Pango and Rare Mammoth, this one again, bit of a no-brainer. Both connected to the element of cold, strongly of course. Mammoth being the cold, rare elemental, and Pango, its epic variety, of course, being made of ice. Yes.
And then the final one, we had Rare Quibble and Rare Riff.
Well, we had Epic Riff, Rare Quibble, and Epic Riff, and it was that they both had, and I liked this one, double necks. What double necks, you might say? Well, exactly. Rare Quibble's got them on the monster itself, and Epic Riff has it on its guitar.
Did people get that?
It's a double necked. You know what? Monster Handler Sydney. Everyone say hi, Sydney.
Hi, Sydney.
Monster Handler Sydney was relaying to me all of the excellent and many of them correct answers that were coming in from the community, and I was astounded. You never want to pull a fast one on this community. You never, because they're going to be able to figure it out. They're going to be able to tell you exciting and interesting things that you hadn't even considered that united these monsters together.
Now, I know I said that was the last one, but it's actually not. There was one more. Last week, I asked everybody, what's the connection
between Monster Handler Matt and Monster Handler Eric? And what was it?
I can reveal it now to all.
Yep.
At the time, and it is still accurate because I was worried. They both have beards.
Yes, different thicknesses and styles of beards. Monster Handler Eric, who's operating the camera today. Everyone say hi, Eric. has a much denser one than my own, and I also just trimmed mine recently as well.
You were
so
thicker
last episode was a little denser, so just go back and refer to that one. So as I promised, before we get into our next segment, we should wish everybody a happy Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day is obviously celebrated in the monster world in the form of the season of love, but the great thing about the season of love is that it's not all about just pairing off and finding things that you have in common with one other monster.
Pals.
It's about being in a community. It's about being part of a community that's inclusive, that's accepting, that celebrates their differences, and that's My Singing Monsters to a T, because all the monsters are so different, but in the end, their love of music and of the company that they keep is what keeps them together, and I feel the same way about you, Monster Handler Michael.
That's why I gave you a Valentine today.
Yes, it was very nice of you.
So we're going to go to Quick Questions!
Quick Questions, a segment where Monster Handler Matt answers your burning questions
Dave, I hope they're not on fire.
about, here, look, here's Kana right here.
I'll get started.
Yeah, why don't you speak over this?
Kind of like Hallmark. What monster/creature are the bones that Epic Drumpler uses?
An excellent question, Marks. I believe the bio reveals that they are actually the fiberglass model bones retrieved from the Fossilosaurus decoration, which I think helps with the bounce, the sort of tensile strength of them. They want to be able to have a little bit of
flexibility.
Exactly.
Do you need a flexibility in a?
That was a hit last time.
Do you need a flexibility?
A little bit in the wrist and also in the stick.
That's
a little bit. I'm a percussionist. Did you know that?
Yes, that's why I asked, because I know you like to drum.
What's next?
At Starburst Clown, does Rare Boscus enjoy cherry lip balm? Who doesn't?
You bet it. You bet it does.
I always want to eat it.
You shouldn't do that. I don't believe it's edible.
Well, I'm sure it's edible, but you shouldn't eat it.
You should. Well, it's probably safe to consume, but why not eat some delicious Zuffleberries instead? Some Zuffle fruit. Anyway.
Do they like it?
Yes, absolutely.
At Explorer Monsters, in terms of lore, how big is Starhenge? Now, are they talking philosophically, or are they talking dimensionally?
I think they're looking for dimensions. Starhenge
metric or
no. Sorry, I'm not going to give exact numbers, but we're just going to talk relatively speaking here.
Okay.
It is quite a bit smaller than any of the islands. Mm-hmm. And certainly a great deal smaller than the continent back in its day when it was fully formed, its sort of Pangeic configuration. Yes. Still fairly big. Obviously, the islands in My Singing Monsters are sort of a suggestion of the terrain that canonically these islands actually have, and you can see some of the terrain in some of our videos that we have on our YouTube channel that sort of explore some of the different environments of the islands, and that they're just sort of a representation of them. But yes, Starhenge is quite a bit smaller.
I mean, you could see that from the hexes.
But what is interesting, what is worth mentioning, of course, is that if Starhenge is that much smaller than these islands, then perhaps the heretofore unknown sort of dormant celestial head that the
are you saying
that Starhenge crest, yes, I think is a fair bit smaller than other monsters.
This has so many repercussions.
Yes, there's a lot of ramifications to this answer that the monster handlers aren't prepared to explore fully in this quick question segment, but maybe we'll revisit it later. What's the next question?
Cyan tree. I know there's a lot of
trees of the cyan color?
Yes, exactly. Yeah. How do monsters put eggs in breeding structures and yet still exist to play their song?
That's a great question, Cyan Tree. It's because the eggs of singing monsters actually operate more like spores. They are sort of produced just sort of spontaneously from the monster. The monster continues to be its own independent being, but the spore that they are able to produce, and which contains all their genetic and elemental material, can exist separately from them. And so basically they just go, alley-oop, and then pop it up onto the breeding structure, making sure it lands on one of the two main platforms so that it can sort of dissolve and commingle and become something new, hybridize.
Asalian 5. I'm sorry if I butchered.
I think it's a Kaelian, but maybe you can let us know if you're in the chat.
Monsters produce coins in game, and it's used to bake treats. What is the lore explanation for coins and treats?
Treats pretty self-explanatory. It's the
Need to
food.
eat.
It's the food that the monsters eat. But coins is an interesting one because internal to the logic of the universe, coins are actually a byproduct of monsters singing. So in universe, it does happen, but they aren't necessarily contained in a bubble floating above the head.
It's more simplified in that, like, if I sang, I might get some money for my performance.
It's sort of like a metaphysical manifestation of the monsters singing, indicating that there's like harmony and prosperity in the monster world. It just goes to show you that it's like a positive outcome, a positive side effect. You just making these coins. Wouldn't that be great if that's how life worked? Because I'd be singing all day long.
You already do.
Yes, I do.
Ms. Angle, how big are the fur
That's Angel.
Miss Angel. Angel. How big are the fur corns?
How big are the fur corns? They're about knee high. On your Michael, you're quite a bit taller than I am, but sort of about your knee area is where a fur
So
corn
we're
might
talking
come
about
up to.
maybe
Perhaps at full
foot
headstock
and a half.
extension, sort of if it was
2
standing
feet.
straight up somewhere around the hips area, maybe sort of
Definitely got some length.
belly button sort of length there.
Cruz, if Ma has no eyes, how would it see?
This is actually a question that's answered in the bio for Ma, all the way back that premiered with the game back in 2012. Its fur acts as a general sensory organ and sort of works not unlike the tendrils of an anemone, sort of like reaching out into the coral reef, trying to figure out is there any fishies or food sort of going around.
Not exactly the same, but doesn't a snake to a degree navigate with its
I
tongue?
think so. I think yes. When it sticks its bifurcated tongue out, it sort of has receptors that it's bouncing off. So yes, it's a sensory organ. It's fur.
Yes.
And that's what it uses to navigate around the world.
Enzo Oliveira Diaz. How baby fur corn activates the teleport, but he don't have arms.
Well, Enzo.
He has feet.
Yes, the baby fur corn, the young fur corn from the continent. It's worth mentioning that these monsters aren't necessarily activating the teleporter. The teleporter sort of hums to life when a monster has met the right criteria to find its forever home on the outer islands.
It's like when you walk up to an automatic door. And
exactly, at a convenience store, and you're there like, I am welcome here.
Yes, and if you're a dog, it's like, you're not ready for this.
And if you're a fur corn and you're level 5, for example,
you're not
level 5 fur corn, you're not ready for Space Island, but you are ready for Party Island.
Exactly.
And so the teleporter hums to life, and then you're able to pass through sort of on your interdimensional travels to an outer island.
Art game rules. I wasn't going to do that, and I screwed it up.
You did it, Michael.
Are the monsters on your shirts what you look like as the monster handlers?
Oh, that's a great question.
I feel like it's been
Art
forever
game
since we talked about
rules.
these
Well,
questions.
you know what?
They might not even know about the mirror dimension.
Oh, I was wondering if you were going to bring it up. On
Well, you
previous
got it.
episodes of My Singing Monsters Live, we actually made contact with an alternate reality in which these characters are the hosts of My Something Humans.
My something.
Perhaps Monster Handler Sydney or Monster Handler Eric remembers. But I do know that they were human experts.
Yes, human experts.
Not monster handlers. They were human experts.
So these are human experts. We're really big fans.
Yeah, and who have we met? We've met human expert Matt
I think
that
we've
goes
met human-
stamped instead of stomped.
Stomped.
And we've met human expert Mike, and we've met human expert Eric. The only one we haven't met is human expert Sidley, notably differently named than Monster Handler Sydney.
Yes, and also unlike Matt in our world, Matt of the other world is actually good at trivia.
Very good at trivia, and you'll see just how good I am in just a few more. We got one more question, then I'm gonna show you how good I am.
Cool Melon Boy, yeet! Does the Playfid on squat feel happy or terrified?
I think the Playfid starts out being quite nervous about the nature of its partnership with the squat, but I feel like very quickly the Playfid figures out that the squat doesn't mean any harm and that the squat just wants to cooperate to make music, because the squat's hands are too sharp and serrated to actually touch its rather soft sort of head cappy underbelly, and that's why it needs the help of PlayFit in order to perform its musical part.
Okay, you know what time it is?
What time is it?
Stump of the Week!
It's Stump of the Week. So in this segment, members of the community pose a question to me, Monster Handler Matt, and try to stump me, try to bamboozle me so that I will not get the answer correct. And oftentimes these are very difficult questions, but many members of the community end up knowing the answer because they're experts.
And you are.
And I
just
am
kidding.
not.
At King Mulch.
All right, what is it?
How many eyes are visible on Wublin Island? Hint. Pokes hexagon thingies on its face count as eyes.
I guess it depends on what configuration of Wublins you have on your island.
Let's say you had one of each
variable. One of each. This is going to take a long time.
It shouldn't.
2 for drumroll. 6 with Zinth. 8 with Poke. None with Brump. 10 with Zucker. 12 with Screamu. Based on this trajectory, I can anticipate 38.
38.
38.
Eric, what say we? 48!
Oh!
How'd you forget 10?
Because I skipped ahead, you see. I tried to, you know how when you have like the
Extrapolate?
start. No. You know when you have like the start of a sequence where it's like different numbers and you try and figure out the relationship between each of those numbers, like the Fibonacci sequence?
Yeah, so you tried to.
So I tried to do that.
You tried to.
Oh, sorry.
extrapolate
I didn't
the
hear
data.
what word you said. Extrapolate?
Yeah.
I thought you said discombobulate.
No.
Which is what I am. Discombobulated every time I'm stomped. But you know what I am never discombobulated about is
Or
when we get to enjoy the beautiful artwork that's sent to us by the very talented members of the community in our Monster Pieces
Hit me with the art.
So let's go right in. Here we've got art by Janalt, and here is a very cute epic drumpler
There's a
surrounded by some other Air Island monsters.
Fwog.
We've got Pom Pom and Fwog there admiring it from the left-hand side, and we've got common and rare drumpler in an
look so
embrace
happy.
off to the right. So thrilled that finally their epic cousin has joined them and is able to hang out.
Got a lovely drawing here from
Delango Kitsune?
Delang. Yeah, Delango.
Kitsune
I'll say that.
of a very cute and sort of a canine
Yeah.
interpretation of the Snizer.
I like the reflections of like a rainbow.
Yes, sort of like the geyser that you see inside the sort of pool on the Snizer's hindquarters.
Who do you think the secret Valentine is?
If I had to guess, if this is this looks like it's a young Snizer, so I think that it is sending a Valentine to Krillby. That's
Who
my
do you think
guess.
it's sending? I thought it was receiving.
Oh, well, they're mutual. They're each other's Valentine.
It's very
Just
cute.
like Eric and I are each other's Valentine. Here is Lil Mava and a very, very cute, sort of chibi-fied, very sweet pom-pom.
Very nice.
Young pom-pom. I love the plaid.
Yes,
Love
I
the
love,
plaid.
and I also like the other heart down at the bottom here. Too.
Plaid, of course, made its big debut in the monster world with Plaid, the Fairy
That's the
Island
first time
quad
there was Plaid?
element. I think so. I might be wrong. It could have appeared on a costume earlier, but the first sort of native part of a monster's anatomy.
This is Pinky is my dog 1.
Great username, A. B. Great piece of art. This is the schmoochel from the loading screen and also from our video this year, holding
I was
the
gonna say.
blue robin's egg colored egg of the Giga Cheep, as
Giga-Cheep.
seen on the Giga Cheep Nest Island skin, new to Season of Love this year.
Very cute.
Next up, from S. Brixie, we've got, I'm going to do it, Waja, who is has a little butterfly that has landed on its hands. It looks
He's
like
in love with
Wad
it.
just put its hands over its mouth, and the butterfly's landed on its mouth, and it's going.
He He'd be quiet
Yes,
to get the butterfly to land.
Exactly. Is that a blue morpho from the Amazon? Hard to say, hard to know.
Hard to tell.
Whoa! Swift the Fox here has a great...
Wow, it gets better every time I look at it.
Here we've got Dragon with a clamble astride it, and these two monsters, what do they have in common? Of course, they both have a very similar sound.
They're called the Tambroines.
Whoa, I love that. I didn't even notice that. That's great. We got Clamble and Dragon as the Tambroines. They're embarking on an epic adventure. This is sort of like a Shrek and Donkey dynamic here.
Who's the Shrek?
One's
Who's
the
the
noble
donkey?
steed, Clamble's Shrek, and Dragon is Donkey.
Okay.
What's that mean? Fight me?
Tell me I'm wrong.
Tell me I'm wrong. That's it. Fight me.
me.
But you know who doesn't do any fighting is this awfully cute foursome of Carly the Apple's
These are so
whimsies.
I would love
Aren't
someone
they
made these.
adorable? And the attention to detail is just exquisite. Look at those feet, all the right colors. Look at the texture on them, the sort of sewn, sort of stitched quality
They're
of
very
their
cute.
bodies. Very, very
I like
cute.
the blushies.
Yes.
Whoa, look at
And
these party boys.
From Rare Boy, we've got a hippity hop. I said a hip hop, a hippie to the hippity hop on Fairy Island. We got a little blue guy and we got a pink one. I don't think I should quit my day job. But this person could have a future in art because this is such an amazing psychedelic drawing of hippity hop.
No!
Whoa! And here from Rut.
Is that how you say
Whoa.
that?
I don't know. The umlaut on the A does change the vowel sound in German, if this is in fact German.
Oh my God.
But let's ignore that for a second because I'm just totally
Given smooches.
bowled over, yes, by this very sweet Emperor and Standard Bisonorous pair, where Emperor Bisonorous is expressing, hey, you know what? You're carrying me around all the time.
Thank you.
My standard buddy. Here's a little smooch for you in appreciation.
What a nice guy. Ooh! Zesty at best. Look at this lovely thing. Of Susan
I
Pom
love
Pom.
it. It looks like this is an adult pom-pom with perhaps,
Yeah,
it's
Susan.
sort of a big sister program there with Sousa.
Very
Isn't
nice.
that cute?
What lovely art this week, as always.
It sure was. Now, we're approaching that time of the program. Sounded like I was going to go into the Imperial March there for a second. But it's that time of the program where we announce what the winner of today's giveaway is going to receive. We don't know the winner yet, so here's your last chance to get your exclamation point giveaway in the mix.
What are they
But the
winning
winner
today?
is going to be getting Epic Schmoochel.
I didn't see that coming.
I did see it coming because I'm the one who chose it.
But I mean, you out there, they probably thought.
A likely story, if I may. So, do you have an Epic Schmoochel on your air island, Mike?
I, of course, do. And obviously, it's bigified.
Of course.
Because
Big fans of the bigification here, these monster handlers.
Bigified.
Okay, we do have a winner. Would you like to make the announcement while I
Yes.
do my now world famous
Rat-a-tat-tat.
drum roll? My rat-a-tat-tat drumpler. Are you ready?
Yes. A is for Adam0122 stuff.
Yay! Congratulations,
Congratulations.
Adam0122 stuff. So, please message us in the chat your BBB ID /friend code, and then we'll be able to send you your Epic Schmoochel to your account, and you can admire it all weekend long if you get to us right away, because I want to be able to send that prize to you before we go on a break.
Yeah.
We've got a long weekend coming up here.
We'll be back next week.
In Canada,
Don't
yeah,
worry.
of course we'll be back. We'll be back for episode 67,
Fun don't stop.
I believe, next week. What will we be discussing? We don't know yet. There's all
we
sorts.
know.
We do know because we're in the know because we're monster handlers. But the other thing that we always conclude here on episodes of My Singing Monsters Live is we conclude with a composer piece that is selected from the brilliant minds of our composer community in the My Singing Monsters Composer app. This week, it's Intense Island
Sounds really intense.
by Monster Lover Vizzy.
Like my feelings.
Why is it intense? Because this is going to be an intense weekend for My Singing Monsters and Dawn of Fire players to collect all these monsters on their various islands and make sure that their collections are complete. Every time a seasonal event ends, you want to make sure that you're in a good position moving
Gotta
forward, that
collect
you've
it
got,
all.
yes, exactly, that you got some of those monsters that you were missing. And as I mentioned, there's going to be different monsters every day, different rare and epic monsters and My Singing Monsters for the conclusion of the season of Love as part of our Love Conquers All promotion. So make sure you check in every day at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time when the change goes over. That's all the time that we have for today. Today, episode 66 of My Singing Monsters Live. We hope you enjoyed the show. We'll see you next week. Congratulations again to the winner. Please enjoy this composer piece, which is great. And then we'll see you. And as we always say, happy monstering!